YouTube is like, go live. All right. It is my third day where I am doing a sketch a day for May. It's pretty good. My setup's getting better. Ooh, I'm stuck. Day 3. Day 2 is the hardest, I think. So I don't know what I'm going to draw. I have some ideas. Let's see, where is my camera? To there and to here. All right. I have some ideas, but I don't like sit down with a plan. This is the planning stage, right? This is the sketch. That's what I'm trying to do. Get 30 sketches, 30 days, September, 30, 31 sketches for the month to help boost my creativity, get my brain flowing, get my creatives creating, all that jazz. So it can be really hard to have like creator's block or writer's block, or what I learned recently that an artist's, the term for an artist, a visual artist's writer's block is called blank page syndrome, which is good. It's like, I guess all the profession, you hear it about it in baseball, right? And it's called like the yips. I can't think of any other names for it. If anyone else thinks of any other names for it, I'd love to hear. Oh, so they say the best cure for white page syndrome is just to throw down a line, any line. It doesn't matter. And that's what I did. I kind of did a half a figure eight, half, not like a circle like this. Wait, like, yeah, like this. And that got me thinking about a bow. And I'd been talking about drawing a bow wrapped around like a parchment or something and how cute that could be. And so once I thought of that, I started drawing that parchment. That's what I'm doing here. So because it's going to be tied up, we have the center, the middle bit pulled in, and I've kind of given the edges here some wear and tear already. You can figure out exactly what's it called, how its shape later, but that's the basic idea. Let's work on the bow a while. So it's going to be tied around it. Do something like that. And then knots work in some way. And then we want it to be like big and bold. Sometimes when I have a complicated shape like a ribbon or a bow or even a letter, I'll kind of sketch it out like this and give it some fullness and some direction just by getting a bunch of lines going together.
Rain 59 says, what are you drawing?
So I think I think this is a parchment with a bow around it. That's what it is right now. I was drawing animals the last couple of days and I wanted to do a change. And I just sort of accidentally started drawing this. Accidentally is a strong word, but I was drawing some shapes and it made me think of this. And then I just started drawing this as a way to be drawing something. Because I think that's, at this moment for Sketch a Day May for me, that's more important than drawing any particular thing or even drawing something good, although hopefully they are good also. So I haven't figured out the actual shape of this knot, but I do know what I want to come out of it, right? So this is too perfect. Let's get this over here. And I want, some loops and some strings. So let's... Oh yeah, what I drew yesterday, you're going to hear a bunch of papers rustling. This was my yesterday drawing. Is that shown? Yeah. And now today, we'll get closer and closer to something like that with this guy, or, you know, this bow. All right. I find cloth really interesting. So ribbon or paper is also really good because there's a lot going on and the shape changes. It has like a fluidity to it. So it can be really fun, but it's also hard. Like folds and stuff. It's stupid. Or ruffles. Cheapy gravy. All right. We have a little bit of a bow. We're going to erase this whole center bit and work on that. Let's see. I don't know. So if I don't know, I will often do something like this, where I sort of fake it. And I think that's what I'm going to do here. I'll have this one come out of some sort of knot here. This will come up and around. This will come out of here. We'll kind of give it some structure to make it look like it's coming out of that. Pinching it up and giving it some riffles. Same here. We'll hide the parchment behind it. Okay. Here we have the ribbon has one side where we're seeing like the front of it or the top of it, and then it flips over here and we're seeing the inside or the back. And this kind of should look a little closer like that to make the shape a little bit better. And what we can do to make this look, we're sure that it's the inside or the back, we can give it a slightly different color. And if we're just using pencils. Hey. Yeah, hi Sherry. You can, if anyone's an artist, if you guys have done Inktober or girls, I didn't mean to say guys, it's my New Yorker coming out. If anyone's an artist, I'd love to hear like what your favorite medium is, like what tools is your favorite, what things you use. I am pretty hooked on pencils. I like digital. I do a little bit of work in digital, but my favorite by far is pencils. Okay, this knot is starting to look much better. It's slow and steady. I'm always embarrassed when the beginning of a sketch, there's a meme or a short that's going around where it's like, if you ask me to see my work in progress or you see my sketchbook, you're going to see a work in progress, and it's going to have like hands that are like this, and you know, like hands that are like this, and faces that are like, I don't know if you can say it, or faces that are like this. And it's so true. Like a work in progress is like a piece of art is a magic trick, or and like you see the finished product and it's like, oh, that came from nowhere, you're so talented, it just appeared out of everywhere. But the actual creation process can be pretty ugly, and that's not a bad thing. It's just what is. So yeah, so that makes me nervous when I draw and share my art process, is that someone's going to show up and see a middling section or see a piece that I'm just not proud of, but I'm sketching and I didn't have a plan. So it's just like something that I'm not ever going to use, I'm going to throw away, or, you know, just like it's going to sit in a drawer for the rest of my life. But they're going to see it and they're going to think, oh, that's the art that guy does. And maybe I'm thinking too much about it, but it's definitely something I think about when people see unfinished or um, in progress, I guess, or works that I wasn't prepared to show, that I don't think of as, you know, final products, projects, pieces is the word I was looking for. We've got to draw the lines up so we know it's okay. We got to do some shading. We don't gotta, but it'll make it look much better. For here, I'm just shading like the closest to the thing that's covering it. So if this one's in front, then it just creates, basically I'm creating a tiny shadow, even without light, just to make sure I get the illusion of depth. So even though for this piece you can't tell really yet, but my light source is, I usually just do a light source coming from like somewhere around here by default. So that's why like this has some shadow. But I haven't really done anything else to make that matter yet. But even if I had, I will still, like here, right? This piece of ribbon I want on top of this one. So in order to do that, I'm gonna uh, create a little shadow that follows the shape of the thing beneath it, because that's what the shadow's being cast on. And I feel like now, taking this, whoa, my pencil lid ran out. Just jab it a while. Here we go, got some more. And you thicken this line up. That'll bring this front piece forward, and the shadow will push the back piece back. And there we go. I feel like now it's in front. The same thing here. Just create some depth, some shadows, make the bow look a Bowie. Oh man, if I could like whip out a portrait of David Bowie when I said that, that'd be great. I cannot.
Yes, you do.
I'd have to use a reference on it. I don't have my phone.
Oh, right. I forgot you can't do
All right. I have aphantasia. I wish there was a better way to say I am an aphantasic, but there's not right now. So I'm a person with aphantasia, which means I do not have a visual imagination. Like when you say picture this in your head, no, I can't do that. So when I draw like this, I can figure out logically, right? I know what a scroll is. It's a loop of paper. I know what a bow is. It's just a loop of paper. I know what a bow is. It's a it's a bit of ribbon that goes something like that. But David Bowie, for example, even though I could probably draw David Bowie, I would need a photo reference in order to know what he looked like in order to draw him. And that's true of like animals or basically anything that I haven't specifically learned like what they look like. So my first question was when I learned that aphantasia was a thing was, oh, I thought everyone's language about it, about like how people think, was like metaphorical when they talk about like imagine, right? The word root for imagine is image. Um, or picture in your mind, or what are the other ones? Like envision. They're all talking about seeing things in your mind. And I thought, just like so much other language, that this was just metaphorical, right? Like you're not actually building a building, it's already built. We don't call it a built. That might be a bad example. But Yeah, I was kind of blown away when I found out people could picture things in their mind. So my first question when I learned about this was like, I'm a graphic designer, so this makes sense to me why like every time I want to design something, I'm like a poster or something, I go, well, this is the page and here's where the big information is going to be. Yeah, that looks good. And I'll have the little information over here. You got and like a big picture and I can see it here and put big stuff on the bottom there, right? Like that looks like a decent design layout, but a lot of people can just do that step in their mind. So I was always so I like when I need to design something or come up with an idea that's a picture, the first thing I do is grab a piece of paper and a pencil and I'm like, let's figure this out. And the people who could do that in their head, I was like blown away. But I looked it up to see if there was more or less, I thought, people with aphantasia in the creative fields. But it doesn't seem like they are. There are. They seem to be, if anything, overrepresented compared to their their how often they show up in the population, which I think is about 1%. Um, but this was a small survey uh, done on a single creative field. But the preliminary evidence said they're overrepresented. Overrepresent. You know what I'm saying. I don't need to keep going. All right, I I have been doing a cartoon version of the drawing after I finish the sketch. Let's see. I'll guess I'll do that here. Okay, okay. I'm struggling. There we go. Here, I'll hold this for now. If there's anyone here has a suggestion, I'll draw something. Just like something quick, a little sketch. That's always fun. The cartoon version of this is, I mean, the one I've already drawn is very cartoony already. But let's see. You have your tube, your scroll or whatever. And we'll have it like kind of be unfurled. That I did a terrible job of making this look unfurled. Yeah, I'll keep going. And on a cartoon scroll, it'd have like writing on it, right? Cartoons don't draw knots, they just draw like flat ovals with a sideways line through it. The bow wouldn't have any gravity. It'd still do this twist, I think. Oh, cartoon ribbon always ends like this. It's like I say always, that's not a hard and fast rule. It's like, I don't know what this is called, like vampire teeth. This is a bad cartoon representation.
All the cartoon holding
Make a cartoon holding it. Just like a guy named Steve.
or holding one.
Shoulder, shoulder, arm, hand you don't see all of. So I always think about like I erase a lot in my creation process. And I bet you that's more common nowadays. But there are people who are like, I don't know. I got used to drawing on PC, on the computer, on a drawing tablet, as I'm sure many people who have started draw on drawing tablets. It is cheap in not an initial investment, but you don't ever need to buy paper. You don't need to buy different colors. You don't need to buy pencils. You don't need to buy, you know, any of that. You never run out of paper. I guess you run out of space sometimes, but you never run out of paper. You never run out of a red pencil and have to go to the store and get more red. And another thing is you can erase. You can erase instantly and completely any mistake you make, within some limitations, but it's relatively, especially compared to paper, it's like magic. I didn't know, but this guy has a hook for a hand. It's very strange. I don't think he's a pirate. And so maybe he's growing. Maybe he has a prosthetic, a regular prosthetic hand, but it's in the shop, right? That's a thing. Maybe he has a regular prosthetic hand, but he thinks a hook is badass, so he does the hook. Oh yeah, they are like, you have stopped growing, so we can now get you a fancy prosthetic hand, and we'll be sure it's gonna fit. Gosh, like, you know how many shoes you had as a kid? You want to like keep getting new shoes all the time? Could you imagine instead of shoes, it was your hand? That'd be crazy. But, necessary. What are you going to do? Your your arms grow. Well, he went from looking really happy to looking like, I thought I would color it in to give it some definition from the face, kind of like make it even more prominent, but instead I just made him look like angry. There we go. I never realized that. Like his okay, here we go. It's starting to look regular. Sweatshirt. Yeah. And legs. Legs are silly. Wow. I mean, he already lost a hand. You want to add tragedy on top of tragedy? Just kidding. Short pants it is. We'll give him 90s skateboarder shorts. Like, wow, Steve. You're bringing it back. I guess we better give him skater shoes too. Not these like big blocky. Oh man, I accidentally did clown shoes. Oh well. Alright, let's clean up some of these random lines that ended up there. His inside leg. This clown shoe. You know what I want to do? Since we'll give him like, oh, his pants will be down here, so his pockets are like, his shirt's covering up like his slacking, but he's definitely doing it. And then you'll have his wallet chain, because now he's just legitimately like a 90s skateboarder, or skateboard culture kid. You know what that would mean? None of this zip up hoodie. This is single pocket in the front, where he has like his drink. Gatorade, that's exactly what I was thinking. A little, you can't really see his hood, but it's back there. Oh yeah. This ribbon hides his arm like perfectly. Let's put the sweatshirt on him on this arm too. The sleeves rolled up. So it's bunched up. There we go. This is too much. I went too far. I don't know my own strength. That's fine. And like, you think he's going to tell you what he's excited about, but he doesn't know we're watching, and he's just a weird kid. So when he gets excited, he just says, he just says, "I'm Steve." Gosh darn it, Steve. All right. What time is it? I will do another 4-minute cartoon. Let's get rid of this. Ooh, I have tea on my paper. I will try to draw a giraffe from memory. We'll stop here and here. And okay, and go all the way to the top. And I'll stop here. Okay. There we go. So first we'll start with the butt. And I know a fact about giraffes, which is their legs and their neck are the same length, which feels crazy, but is true. And it makes sense because that means they can bend their necks and eat from the ground, if they bend their bodies a little bit too. So, okay, that's about right. All right, so we have the basic shape. We can, at this point, still turn the body a little bit towards me. We'll move that leg. And we'll have the giraffe kind of facing us a little bit. I don't know, this isn't going to be a realistic giraffe. And so maybe having its body turned in this like strange position is going to negatively affect us, the believability of the giraffe, but that's fine. I have no idea what giraffes' tails look like, but I think it would be funny if it's just kind of like a length with a big puffy end thing. That looks great to me. Again, the head, I'm not really sure, but like I kind of remember it has this going on. Is this like a Dr. Seuss thing or is this a real giraffe thing? I don't know. But that's what I got. That's what I got going on in my head about giraffe. I'm going to draw the square for the head because I've like kind of thrown proportions down already and I don't know if I'll be able to make it work if I don't. The middle, and then where's this other one? It comes like out to here, so here somewhere. Yeah. And that square goes down. Okay. And then we'll fit the snout somehow in there. There we go. Right like that. And we can erase the box. That's just there to guide little old me. Okay. Yep, that means his nose will be here. His mouth will be here. And I think giraffe are pretty tonguey, so let's just leave his tongue hanging out. And I think their tongues are black. I think I've heard that about giraffe. They probably don't have whiskers. Are they prey animals? So I do this calculation every time. I go, is the animal I'm drawing prey or predator or somewhere in between? And that's how far If it's a predator, eyes right in the front. If it's prey, eyes all the way on the side. And if it's somewhere in between, I do it somewhere in between. I am going to say a giraffe is somewhere in between. And so its eyes are going to go right there. It serves you pretty well. Let's give them big eyelashes, because a lot of these animals have big eyelashes. I don't know. Guess is it sandy where they live? Okay, it is coming together. We'll give them a little scruff here. We'll do the same thing down the neck. We'll kind of end it as it gets to the body. This is, again, just a guess. I'm kind of basing it off of a horse's mane. I draw animals and cartoons and all sorts of stuff from memory, and like sometimes it's fine and sometimes it is so weird and so bad. Oh man, feet. So they're probably not hooves, because I think I would know if they were hooved. So, huh. Let's say like, no, they probably don't. You know, some animals, they stand like on their tippy toes, and then like this is their heel, but it never touches the ground. It's just like in other animals, that is the heel. Uh, I don't think giraffes can be like that, because like that usually has a lot of spring. It's like it's meant to be fast moving or make them jump higher. So I bet you they're just kind of like sort of like squat human feet with the heel and the toes and everything on the ground. But like I bet you they're like big and round with the heel and the front of the foot and the toes or whatever. Actually, I don't know. That looks dumb. But you know what? Lots of animals look dumb. So, oh yeah. You know, it doesn't really matter what the giraffe's feet look like, because this particular giraffe is a big fan of combat boots. Combat boots on the front, like, what are the ones that go up to your ankle called? High tops in the back. Does Doug Funny wear high tops? I used to draw Doug Funny a lot when I was in school. I'm reliably informed that he bought high tops once. Okay, combat boots. Combat boots. For me, the trick to making them believably boots is like a big fat sole and getting it to look right as it wraps around the front. Yeah, I think I did. I think that looks fine. Yep, like that. Cut it up. Make it go that way, this way. Laces don't have to be perfect. And then the big front and the sole. Sometimes I just draw the sole by doing little lines like that, and then encapsulating them with a top and a bottom. I think that also looks pretty believable. Also, combat boots, they do not need to be tied, because, I mean, lots of people who wear combat boots don't tie their shoes. Lots of people in general wearing all sorts of things don't tie their shoes. These ones are fine because these were Velcro. You could easily do those up, which is lucky, because um because all right. Oh, and then giraffe spots. If I remember, I drew giraffe spots like last year, 2 years ago, and if I remember, they're all like kind of L-shaped, like this. in different patterns. Unlike is it a cheetah or a leopard where it's like an inside and an outside one? I don't remember.
Giraffe spots are almost all like lignal in. It's all like a square, or like a trapezoid and stuff. There's no like in to it.
Really? What do you? Hmm.
It's kind of like it kind of fits together like a puzzle. And then so the background is just like lines.
Okay, this is like looking familiar. And they're different sizes.
Yeah. All together, I would say they're bigger than that.
Bigger. We're all learning things about giraffe.
It is weird. Does it have those like collagen things that you do, but it also has ears?
I did not. To me, those things are ears.
Mhm.
But this makes more sense. Ah, for some reason to me this giraffe's name is Susan. She goes by Susie. So, you know. So if you want to buy her presents, that's who you address it to. Oh yeah. The bigger ones are so much more right. Oh, I've like hurt myself. I'm going too fast because I'm in pain. All right. I think I stepped on something. It doesn't even make sense. There must have been something in my shoe. Okay. It's past. I'll check when I'm done because I'll finish up as soon as I'm done drawing these spots. I'm not going to draw spots on the back one. Just give it a little shadowy shade. Well, you know what? I'll get this black pencil. Nope, I was using the black pencil. I'll just kind of bring this front one forward. Same here. Thicken up its lines. And I'll shade this one. Oh yeah, bring the body up. And I'll shade this one a while. All right. Oh, I just have one left to do. A little side corner, a little side one here. All right, giraffe, mostly from memory. I will look at a picture in a minute and I'll see how I did. This is the animal sketch of the day for May. Hooray! Susie, this is the giraffe. Cool. Thanks so much for joining me. I will be doing a sketch of the day for May tomorrow as well. Every day in May, barring unforeseen circumstances. I don't know why my eraser turned pink, but anyway, bye. I can't turn it off. I don't know how.